welcome to Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is KG. I am your host. With me tonight is my co-host, my compadre.
Some shithead off the street.
We are doing the recap of AEW Dynamite, guys. Please subscribe to the podcast. I just finished doing an interview with Warren Wolf from ECW, TNA, WWE. He was Wolfie D in WWE. He was Slash in TNA. Great guy. He has a book coming out. Check out that interview. Man, what you think about AEW last night?
You know, I thought it was kind of all over the place, to be honest.
It was. I mean, it wasn't terrible by any means. It definitely wasn't my favorite Dynamite.
No, but I think they touched up on a lot of storylines.
They did. I read a lot of negativity about AEW Dynamite last night, and this is the thing. I think people have conditioned themselves so much to just shitting on Dynamite, being negative about it, that even if it was good, they would still shit on it for whatever reason. Like I said, I agree with you. It was all over the place, but it definitely wasn't the worst Dynamite that I've seen. I mean, it was okay.
You know, I think AEW is kind of in a catch-22. You know, regardless of what they put on, someone's going to bitch about it.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, they bitch about the pay-per-views, which I find the pay-per-views extraordinary, to be honest.
Oh, look, their AEW's pay-per-views, and I don't care what anyone says, their pay-per-views are much better than WWE's PLEs. I would pay $50 to watch AEW's pay-per-view before I pay $30 to watch WWE's PLEs. That's just me, though.
Yeah, and it's not saying WWE has bad PLEs. It's just as far as action goes, as far as actual wrestling goes, AEW puts on a better show.
Yeah, I think, and you just said it. I think the reason why I prefer AEW's pay-per-views versus WWE's PLEs is because WWE's PLEs is all wrestling, right? That's whenever you see the most action coming out of WWE. And for myself, it really exposes the fact that if you're comparing match to match, WWE versus AEW, the matches AEW puts on are better for myself than WWE's matches.
Yeah, and again, it's not saying WWE has bad matches. Right. You know, it just AEW as a whole puts on a better match for match.
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%. But let's get started.
All right, so go to recap, and you're going to have to fill me in on this one. Recap of Will Ospreay's injury. Now, all I remember of that match was at the end of the match, everybody kind of praising Will Ospreay, the crowd, but they showed that Death Riders attacked him afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Really? You were watching it with me.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember that.
Yeah, they attacked Will Ospreay and put that chair around his neck, and
which was stupid because he already mentioned he was going to take time off for an injury. You know?
But
so why, exaggerate it? Oh, they put him out. No, they didn't. He already mentioned the week before that he was going to go out.
Well, you and I talked about his neck injury before the pay-per-view, right? And I personally thought that it was just part of a storyline because, after all, why would he be involved in a match like this if he truly had an injury? But thinking about it, Will Ospreay's part in this match really wasn't as involved as you have normally seen with Will Ospreay in other matches like this. There wasn't a whole lot of crazy spots that we've got accustomed to seeing with Will Ospreay. So maybe his neck injury is legit, and maybe he's going to be out longer than what they initially thought he was going to be out. So therefore, they added him getting attacked, which shows that his neck was, further damage is the only thing that I can come up with. Otherwise, I agree with you. What was the importance of this attack if we already knew that after this match he was going to be written off the TV?
Right. Well, they say he's off indefinitely, so I'm guessing he's going to be out for at least 6 months,
Right.
at least.
Yep, I agree.
All right. So next we go to FDR to the ring, calling for the ref to reverse the decision. The referee said his actions are final, pretty much. But there was a tense moment between Stokely and the ref, man. I thought they were going to come to blows.
Yep. And I've been saying this for a long time, even whenever FTR was in the height of them being big baby faces. I prefer a heel FTR, always have when they were in WWE. I prefer them being heels. Same thing with AEW. They're good baby faces, but for me, I just think that they look more of that natural heel. They look like the heels back from the 80s.
Yeah, God, they act like Tully and Arn, to be
Right.
honest.
100%. That's why, and you and I have both said this, why they got rid of Tully
Blanchard.
When I say
Right.
they, I mean AEW, whoever made that decision. Why? I don't know. I think that was a beautiful fit. But I mean, it could have been something on Tully Blanchard's part, as far as we know. But I do prefer Tully Blanchard with them than Stokely, obviously. But Stokely's not doing a bad job with them either. Stokely really legitimized them to be those heels because Stokely's just that miserable piece of crap that we love hating on.
Yeah. No. I think Stokely's. At first, I didn't like it, but now
Right.
he's warmed up to me, or it's warmed up to me, or whatever.
Yep.
The situation's warmed up to me.
Yep. Now I tell you, my favorite thing that FTR is doing is when they're walking to the ring during their entrance, how they just fuck with the fans. They act like they're going to give them a fist bump or slap their hand and they move it away, or they'll get right in the face of a fan and just the stare down. They are doing a great job of getting heat from the AEW fans.
Yeah, they are. All right, so Edge and Christian come out. A fight ensues. Edge and Christian versus FTR at All Out.
Right.
And then Christian started going after Cash and Dash's fathers for some reason. I guess it's a hierarchy thing.
Well, a couple of things. One, let's go back to Edge coming to the ring. I loved how he kept on looking over his shoulder, like, "Where's Christian at?"
Yeah, no shit.
Right, I actually bought it, right, because although they may be on the same team, they're not really. They didn't really
On the
make
same
up
page.
right. So that was great. Now I like what they're doing with Christian. I think the reason why Christian attacked the fathers of FTR verbally is because, again, Christian saying, "Yeah, I'm helping Edge out or Cope, whatever you want to call him, because he's helped me out. But make no mistake about it, I'm still Christian. I'm still this asshole, right?" And I really like, this is the one thing that AEW has definitely gotten right. Too many times we see this talent go from being healed, they turn to babyface, and it's like overnight, boom, they're just this huge big baby face. I like the fact that Christian's kind of baby face, but it wasn't.
But he's
like,
still a dick.
He's still a dick. He's still being consistently Christian, and I love this. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, even you saw Edge going, no, we're not going to go there.
Right.
But yeah, no, I kind of like what they're doing, Christian, where he's, and I hate to use this term because I don't know if it really fits, but he's at the anti-hero. No, he's just a dick.
Right.
Yep.
All
right, so let's see. Next, we go to a Darby Allin vignette. Really wasn't excited over this, to be honest. He was talking about his mountain climbing experience and whatnot, which, I'm not going to take it away. That's an extraordinary feat, But I thought the whole vignette was just kind of blah.
Yeah, what is important to mention that AEW was live from Philadelphia. They were live from the studio that ECW was filmed in. Um, and I think they were trying to give that vibe of ECW. And I really think that's where Darby Allin fits in because of his recklessness. That's the only way you can really put it. Look, I used to be a Darby Allin fan, and I'm not saying that I'm not, but I've gotten kind of cold on Darby Allin here lately.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's hard to buy him as a viable anything because he's like what 150 pounds. You
Well,
know, I mean, he looks like a skater punk that got in a ring.
right. So I think it's between that and look, there Darby Allin doesn't have any more dimensions to him, right? You've seen Darby Allin wrestle one time, you've seen all of his matches.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
they're the same, and I think that's why maybe I've gotten cold because of the fact of he doesn't present anything new. I get it, the fans love him because he's this daredevil. He's basically Mick Foley. If you take off, 300 pounds or
Yeah.
whatever, get right. Um, but at least Mick Foley had personality, he had charisma. He really did. Oh man, Darby Allin, he's just for myself, he's just very blah. I mean, there's
One
nothing.
dimensional.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. Yeah, no, I'm not going to discredit the kid. I mean, he gives his all. And then some. I think. You mentioned Mick Foley, but there's shades of Jeff Hardy in there too.
There is.
You know. All right, so next we go to Mox versus Daniel Garcia, and I really didn't understand why this match took place, but okay.
Right.
Uh, Mox ends up getting the win. Shows a little bit of respect towards Daniel Garcia. Um, After the match, Yuta gets on the mic and he's spouting his spout, and Hook comes out and pretty much beats the piss out of him.
So to answer your question about you really didn't understand this, I have this strong feeling based upon how Mox treated um shit was
Garcia? Garcia?
yeah, how he treated Garcia. I mean, look, Moxley doesn't show respect to anybody, right? The fact they show some respect to Garcia, I don't know. I just have this feeling that Garcia is going to be recruited to be part of the Death Riders. And for some reason, I have a feeling that Garcia is going to take the place
Of Yuta.
of Yuta. I really do.
I don't know. I smell Orange Cassidy in the background of this somehow.
Yeah, I'm not sure the updates with Orange Cassidy. I've not seen anything about him. I know he was out with an injury. He's been gone for quite a while now.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. All right. So next we go to an MJF vignette, which really for MJF, this was kind of a crazy vignette, I guess. I mean, he
I
kind
did, but
of
I liked it.
yeah, he went off his rockers on this one.
Well, and I keep on saying this: MJF hasn't quite been MJF since he returned a few months
Yeah.
back. I, this was MJF. I enjoyed it. I felt like we are finally getting MJF back. Um, and I hope that this is going to lead to a great storyline between, we know that Kim and man, my brain is just all over the place tonight.
Briscoe or Pace?
Briscoe, yeah, I think this is, this will lead to a storyline where Briscoe somehow is going to lead back to Page. But yeah, I enjoyed this last night. I really did.
I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but I guess I didn't hate it. But
No,
I guess it was an MGF we haven't seen in a while. I guess
I really liked it. MJF, his promos always reminds me of Ric Flair for some reason.
kinda.
And this promo last night he did reminded me of some of the promos you've seen that Ric Flair has done when he's kind of lost his rocker.
That's
right?
usually when he starts stripping.
Oh, right.
And MJF
So,
wouldn't have far to go on that one.
right. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if we see MJF Wednesday night, same promo, except taking off his clothes like Ric Flair.
Yeah. No, you know, I see the comparison there. I
Yeah.
do. All right. So let's see. Next, we go to Penelope Ford and Bane versus uh, Harley and Chris Statlander. I was surprised that they actually got the win, to be honest.
So this
Um,
is
Go
this
ahead.
is what this is what didn't make sense to me. Chris Statlander is attacking Bane, and then you have your girl. Um, what is her name again?
Harley,
No. The one that ran in the ring.
Willow,
Huh?
Willow.
Yeah. So you have Willow come in and kind of get in between Statlander and Bane to kind of stop it. It didn't make sense to me last night. That the whole run in, it I don't know. It didn't add up to me. I was my initial thought was, oh shit, is Willow going to turn heel? Is she going to come and help Megan Bane? Because that's what it looked like. So
Well,
I don't know where they're
this
going.
this whole thing with Statlander and Willow, fix it or break it. I don't care, but get it done with.
Right. Right.
It is beyond passe at this point.
Well, we always talk about that. We love slow burns. We love the slow storylines, the build, right?
Right, but this is two,
Well,
3 months
this one,
now.
but I was going to say though, when it comes to Willow and Statlander, this isn't one of the times that I'm enjoying the build to it. So, either make something happen or get off the toilet. I mean,
Right.
as you said, either fix it or turn it, whatever you need to do, but get to it.
Yeah. No, I like a slow burn too, but my point is slow burn is like 6 weeks now.
Right.
You know. All right. So next we go to Monet to the ring and her table of belts. All right. She mentioned Ultimo Dragon, who had 10 belts at one time, and I'm
Right.
pretty sure Matt Cardona probably had 10 belts at one time too.
Really?
Yeah, he had a shitload of indie belts. I don't know how many he had, but pretty sure he was probably close to 8, 9.
Yeah. Well, we finally know what AEW is trying to do with her, with Monet, is breaking the record with the whole 10 belt thing. I wish they would do it so she start losing some of the belts. I'm so bored with Monet. So bored with her.
Yeah, why did she have Kyle Fletcher's glasses last night? I don't know. Yeah, the whole Monet thing is again passe.
Right.
It looks like she kind of half-assed gave a challenge to Alex Windsor though.
Windsor. Right.
Yeah. All right. So next we go to Jay Briscoe explaining why he wasn't at AEW last night because he was increasing his bloodline.
Right.
Uh, he did bring up Kyle Fletcher though and says we've had a past. You've got two, I got two. I challenge you for a match. Oddly enough, I want to see this match.
Yeah. Yeah. They were good in the ring together. I'm not hating this. I'm really not.
Well, I think they're two contrasting
Right.
um,
Talents.
abilities. Yeah,
Right.
talents. Briscoe's such a brawler, but he can wrestle.
Yeah.
I don't want to discredit Mark or Jay Briscoe. He can wrestle.
It's
But
Mark.
Kyle,
Jay's
yeah,
dead.
yeah, I
Jay
know.
can't wrestle.
Oh, sorry. No, it was Jay Briscoe last night, wasn't it?
No, it's Mark.
God damn it! I always get them two wrong. All right. Anyways, next we go to Dan Callis. He comes out, introduces his whole stable, I guess, and actually he's got a pretty impressive and large stable for that matter. He kind of sounded like Paul Heyman though a little bit last night.
Yeah, I like how he said to Hangman that half of the talent in the back is coming for your belt, and he should know this because he has contracts with all of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, so his entourage took on Brodito and jet speed. I almost wrote jet ski. And as much as I hate to say this, they are kind of growing on me. They are a hell of a talent, to be honest. But Speedball just,
It's hard.
right. But they are a hell of a talent. And that Kevin Knight,
Yep.
that kid's got world
Yep.
champion written all over him, I think.
Yep. Man, was it me or does it look like Kenny Omega has really beefed up?
He looks bloated, yeah. Yeah, he does look bloated.
He did.
Yeah.
And he looked different in the face. Did he have a beard previously?
Yeah, he said, no.
Something about his face looked different last night.
Yeah, well, it looked bloated.
Well, besides that, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, maybe a haircut. I don't know. Let's see. Well, Josh Allen got the pin pretty much.
Yep.
And then all hell broke loose with Paige and Omega and everybody.
But stop. I was actually surprised about that pin last night. I just knew that Jet Speed was going to win that match. I was really shocked that Josh Allen and his partner went over.
Well, the funny thing is, Josh Allen is a hell of a talent.
Oh yeah.
He's got that Lance Storm mentality though. He just has zero personality. And actually I like Lance Storm, and I actually thought he had somewhat of a personality, although it was dry and starch, but
I mean, he had the personality of a dead dog.
I don't know. But I liked Lance Storm. I did.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think Josh Allen being with Don Callis is a good fit because he doesn't really have much of personality, so he doesn't have to talk very much. That's what Don Callis is for.
And that's what made Ethan Page and him so good together. Is Ethan Page was the polar opposite.
Right.
So, all right. So next we go to a Tony and Mina vignette. I actually kind of like these two together for some reason. I don't know why. But I do.
Yeah.
And they were dogging on Athena, and I don't know if you can say Billy Starks or not, because Billy Starks is really, I don't know, an afterthought in my opinion.
Yeah. So I prefer Tony Storm with Alex Windsor. This just did nothing for me last night. I was, quite frankly, I was bored with it.
Oh, I don't know. I like Mina, so
yeah. Teach their own.
Yeah. Next we go to Ricochet and the Gates of Agony versus the Trios champion.
It was after the match that Ricochet just cracked me up, man. They picked him up, and then they had to let him go because of what was happening next, and just Ricochet just collapsed. I mean, people can say what they want about Ricochet. I like Ricochet in AEW. He's been very entertaining. He has absolutely helped Gates of Agony.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I am not hating on this at all.
No, I think it's a good pairing. I think it really benefits Gates of Agony, which I think is a really good team, and I would have loved to see them against Benjamin and Hurt Syndicate. Yep, I couldn't put the name on.
Yeah, and this is what doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to have the Hurt Syndicate in a feud with Gates of Agony, wouldn't it have been better if it was for the fucking titles? I mean, why have them drop the titles right before they go up against a team that you can really Hurt Syndicate?
Right. Ultimately, I think pound for pound, Hurt Syndicate is probably a bigger lot, but Gates of Agony are no small guys either.
Right. If anyone was going to actually pin Bobby Lashley, because he's not pinned yet. He has not been pinned yet since he's been in AEW. If anyone was going to pin him, it would be either one of the guys from Gates of Agony. That would have made sense. But instead, they have them drop the belt. And look, I am really, really happy for Brody and his partner, right? Don't get me wrong, especially Brody. But I'm sorry, I would be more invested in this feud with the Gates of Agony and the Hurt Syndicate if it was actually for the belt.
Yeah, but keep in mind they didn't pin the Hurt Syndicate either.
I get that, but still, it would the match. It would be just when you have something on the line, it just makes it better.
Yeah.
And there's not been a tag team that the Hurt Syndicate has faced that I would have been able to say, "Ooh, I wonder who's going to walk away with the belts because this is going to actually be a challenge for the Hurt Syndicate."
Yeah, yeah.
Until the Gates of Agony.
Right.
But now it's for nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Next, we go to Darby Allin versus Claudio. This one kind of just outright disappointed me, to be honest.
Big time. Big time. This was
I'm
their
sorry,
main event.
but to have Claudio lose on a coffin drop, come on.
Right.
Come on.
I agree. I knew they're in Philadelphia, so they wanted to have this violent match.
Yeah.
I get it. Darby Allin, get it, Claudio, but the match just did not live up to what I thought it would be on piece of, when you see it on paper, oh, this is gonna be a great match, two violent guys. Just disappointed.
No, this should have been, I hate to say it, but it should have been a squash match with Claudio, dumping on this kid. And again, I don't want to discredit Darby by any stretch of imagination because, in some ways Darby I can relate to because when I was younger, I had a big mouth and I still get a big mouth, I guess, and I got the mouth that doesn't have the muscles to back it up, and I got the shit kicked out of me numerous times because of it, but I never gave up. I never gave up, I remember getting a fight one time and a kid hit me. I said, "That all you got?" Hit me again, dropped me, got up. My grandma hits harder, and that's the whole Darby Allin mentality.
Right, but this is the thing. When you have Darby Allin beating people look, when he actually pinned Brody King, I was like, come on.
Right.
I cannot, I even with me trying my damnedest to dismiss reality, it doesn't make sense to me. Darby is so small. He belongs in the cruiserweight division somewhere.
Right. Well, the thing is, Brody's literally twice his size.
Right. Well, and Claudio is almost twice the size as well.
Yeah. Well, muscle-wise, he is easily.
And I know the arguments, oh, well, Rey Mysterio, he beat the Big Show. There's just something different. There's a different dynamic when you're talking about a small guy like Rey Mysterio versus someone like Darby Allin.
Right.
So yeah, again, I was disappointed. And I mean, can you ever imagine Darby Allin having the world title?
No, but it doesn't put it past me to put Tony Khan to do it.
Oh, I agree.
Just because Darby Allin's got that spunkiness about him.
Yeah, well, that may be the day I stop watching AEW.
Yeah, it might be.
Because I just cannot visualize him being that world champion.
Right.
I had a hard time accepting when he won the what was the IC title he won from Jericho?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I used to be a Darby Allin fan, but he's just growing cold on me. And I think what it was too was when AEW first started, they didn't have a whole lot of big guys.
No, they didn't.
But it seems like they're getting guys that are bigger and bigger. And every time they do, seeing Darby Allin beat one of these guys, it's a joke to me. So I don't know. But all in all, like I said, AEW wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I would give it a C+.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to go past that too, to be honest.
Right.
And it kills me because I am a huge AEW fan, and I enjoy the show. I enjoy the difference between WWE and AEW. I did like that they made a concerted effort to touch on storylines. I think over the last 3 weeks they've gotten better about that. Actually from the last pay-per-view from the one before, they've done a lot better job about touching up on those. but I still think they're a little lackluster on those. Um, but I do appreciate the differential between WWE and AEW.
I do too, but look, I miss a lot of the AEW originals. To me, that's what made AEW AEW. Now it's a couple of the originals mixed with a lot of guys from WWE, TNA, New
Yeah,
Japan.
but look at how many guys of the original cast are pretty much injured, you know, because of the way they wrestle.
Well, I get that, but there's a lot of guys that just aren't featured anymore either.
True, true. I mean, look how long Warlow was off.
Right.
You know, God, he was off for damn near a year. And
Yeah.
where's Brian Cage?
Right. Right. Speaking of, we didn't touch on the fact that that tag match with Rainmaker and Kateshta.
Oh yeah, you're right. We didn't.
Yeah, it looks like that they may be some problems between the two. And tell you what, that is a match I would love to see.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, yeah. You know, um, Rainmaker's a hell of a talent, and Takesha's no slouch either. And
Right.
Takesha just won that tournament too, didn't he?
Yep, he did. I think that who do you think would be the baby face? Kateshta or the Rainmaker?
You know, I want to say Takeshita, but Okada, I can see him sneaking in the back door and the crowd cheering him. To be honest.
Well, and that's the thing, they both get cheered by the crowd. So I don't know. I just think though that this would that match between those two guys is a main event match, in my opinion.
I think so, easily. But unfortunately, because they're Japanese wrestlers, it wouldn't be portrayed as that.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
I think because they're Japanese wrestlers, they're almost second class citizens as far as wrestling is concerned. You know, in Japan, they'd probably sell out the Superdome.
Right.
You know, but here, you know, they'd be lucky to draw 5,000 people to see that match. You know, which is a shame because it's a hell of a match.
I agree. But it looks like they're preparing
Yep.
for their next pay-per-view, which is All Out. Or is it All In?
I think it's all in.
All In. Yep, and no, we'll see what's going to happen with that. It's going to be in Canada,
And that's the
so
one where WWE is going head to head with them, isn't it?
I think so. September 20th, yeah,
And that's gonna be the first pay per view PLE for WWE.
right.
So
Right.
that might help AEW to a degree, but you know, WWE is still gonna be cheaper than AEW.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think this WrestlePalooza, which is the name of the WWE's PLE that they're having, I'll be shocked if they actually beat AEW when it comes to viewership. When it comes to this,
I think they will, even though the name is just a joke, WrestlePalooza. Come on, it's been used.
well, yeah. Well, it's used by an indie promotion here in Minnesota, First Wrestling. They have they do WrestlePalooza at First Avenue, which
Right, but
used to be
that's only gonna hold like 500-700 people tops.
no, that actually holds a couple of thousand people.
Or First Avenue? Oh, I don't know. If First Avenue could do a couple
I've
thousand.
worked it. It holds a couple thousand.
Oh yeah, well, I've been there, but I didn't think it'd hold that many. To be honest,
Yep. But anyway, yep, that's AEW Dynamite. We both gave it a C plus. Saturday, I know we normally do our recaps of Friday SmackDown. We will be doing it. There's some things happening this weekend. We will be doing the recap though of WWE's PLE on Peacock. We'll do that on Monday, 7:30 ish. So, are you excited to watch this PLE?
you know, not really, but I'll watch it just because I'm a fan.
Right.
You know, and to me, I think there's gonna be a couple surprises, and maybe not many, but a couple surprises. Um, you know, with WWE, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um, And so, oddly enough, I kind of want to see the Becky versus Bella. For some odd reason, I don't know, because I was just telling somebody at work today that Nikki Bella needs to go away. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the fans are going to make this PLE seem much bigger than what it is because it's going to be in Paris. That's going to be a great, great crowd. They're going to be energetic. They're going to be alive. So I think it's going to have a big feel to it because of where it's at. Because I think that if this PLE with the card that they have was here in the United States, I don't think it would have a big feel to it. I really don't.
No, I think they're just trying to hit a quota of PLEs or something. I don't know.
Well, TKO needs to make that money, man.
Well, I know. I mean, TKO was in debt for I don't know how many billions, but the ESPN deal had to take them closer out of the red.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, yep, that wraps up this episode of Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast, the recap of AEW Dynamite. We will be back on Tuesday at 7:30 with the full cast to do the recap of. No, I'm sorry. We'll be back Monday. You and I and Gerald to do the recap of the WWE's PLE, and then Tuesday night at 7:30 with the full crew to do the recap of Monday Night Raw, the fallout of this upcoming PLE. You got anything for us?
No, never. I'm a simple man.
Yeah, you're something, okay? Get your bell wrong, everyone. Please subscribe to the podcast.
It's free.
It's free.